Statistically, right now, there's many people in this place that are going through very difficult times. Many of you tonight are dealing with issues, whether it be financial, relational, physical. And you say, how in the world can God be glorified in such a dark time? How in the world, if God loves me, how could He allow this to happen to me? And in that moment, you have a decision to make. You can say either, I believe that God says that He loves me and I'm going to hold on to that. I believe that God says that He will never leave me and never forsake me and I'm going to hold on to that. Or I can turn my back on my faith and say that God doesn't know what He's doing. You have a decision to make. Is God real? Is what He says true? And do you believe that? You say, God, how could you allow this to happen to me? Well, I suggest to you tonight that there is a reason, because God looks at life on an eternal perspective. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that you will be rescued from trials and tribulations. If anything, we see that there will be persecution, there will be hard times. But God says, I'm faithful, I will never leave you and I will never forsake you. And in that moment, what will you choose to believe in? When your mom, your sister, your brother is dying of cancer, when the prognosis is dim and your deepest and darkest prayer is, God, please don't allow this to happen to me. And in that moment, I've seen God do miracles, and I've seen God also sometimes answer your deepest and darkest prayer with the answer no. You see, even Jesus Christ Himself, before He went to the cross there, as He was in the garden, He said, Father, take this from me. This is too much. I can't deal with this. I don't want to go through this. This is too much. And God the Father said to His own Son, whom He loved deeply, the only perfect man to walk this earth, He said, no. You must walk through this. Why? For the sake of eternity. And if Jesus can say no, if God can say no to Jesus Himself, you better believe there are times in our lives where God will answer our prayers with the answer no. Why? Because I found in those deep and dark and brutal times that often God is glorified in a way that could have never happened any other way. And eternity is changed because lives are turned upside down, souls are saved, and God says, I know it's hard, but in the scope of eternity, it's worth it. You heard earlier the verse, Jeremiah 29 verse 11, for I know the thoughts I think towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope, to bring you to a glorious end. You see, God promises that the ending of the story will be beautiful. He says the ending is going to be amazing. It's going to be more than anything you could ever imagine. But life is hard. And He simply promises that He will be with you, to hold you when you cry, to comfort you with a peace that surpasses understanding. You say, I don't know how I can go on. And God says, I'll help you. Even as He helped His Son endure the cross, He says, I'm with you no matter what. And the question is now, will you believe that God will be with you every step of the way? Do you believe that all things work together for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose? And even if God chooses not to do a miracle right now, and He answers with the answer no, do you believe that God is still faithful? Do you believe that God is still just? Do you believe that He loves you? Do you believe that He will be with you every step of the way? And it isn't until you answer that question that you can know honestly where your faith lies. It's easy to have faith when times are good. It's the times that are hard and difficult when our faith is tested. And in that moment, will you put your faith in the one who loves you